name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid, and she is just a little bit obsessed with mushrooms.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. I'm a wildfire druid who's on a quest to be the very best there ever was.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Harry Harrington, the Harrengon, the roguish merchant with the heart of gold.
My name is Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew, the romantic dancing Owlin, Paladin of devotion.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'll be playing Niles Silverwind, the Owlin, Way of the Sympathy Monk.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I play the character of Threign, the boisterous frost giant, the Goliath, path of the giant Barbarian.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces once again. We are here, we are playing Return of the Giants, the premier homebrew D&D campaign, in a time when D&D might be having a few little crises behind the scenes. For those of you who are aware, two very integral members of the Wizards of the Coast team, Chris Perkins being one of them, have just departed Wizards of the Coast. We're not quite sure what that means for D&D, and yes. It's been a rough week of D&D news. We're not quite sure what it means. It's not a great sign, I think. But again, we know that Hasbro are kind of shit, so we'll just have to see. I don't know.
The main concern is they were sort of like the glue, at least holding together the really crappy Rugrats T-Rex.
And Jeremy Crawford is the guy who does. So Jeremy Crawford's the other one. He's the one who does like all of the, basically like all of the. Hey, what? How does this work? What's this rule? He's the one who kind of gives the guidance and the ongoing support for a lot of the new ruling. It's a huge loss. Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford both departing is a massive loss. We don't know yet what they're going to be doing. I'd be very surprised if we don't hear from them again in another project, possibly with Pathfinder, possibly with something of their own. For checking out anything those two create. I think they're fabulous. I'd be very keen to try out anything they create. So that could be interesting. We'll keep our eyes and ears peeled for news on that front. And a massive thank you to everyone who's been joining me for the Baldur's Gate 3 streams. It's been loads and loads of fun. Those episodes are already out if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on Twitch, the first episode comes out tomorrow. Please enjoy. It is loads of fun. Our Bard-only playthrough of multiplayer Baldur's Gate 3. It's been excellent. It is the way Baldur's Gate 3 was intended to be played, not in terms of balance, in terms of fun. It is the way it is meant to be played. It's just a full Bard party. I can recommend very highly. In terms of other fun announcements, that's kind of the main ones that I've got to share. So we should probably jump into the session, hey? I've got a recap ready to go. We ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger last week, as I am wont to do.
Oh, yeah.
So let's jump in without any further ado. Let me grab open my recap and we will begin. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, is taking on the threat posed by the return of the Giants. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, and Bartholomew have returned to the surface after an extended expedition through the Underdark, and are now heading south following recent reports of volcanic eruptions. Having recovered Bart's severed wings from the shackles of Obsidian Foot, the group have tracked down the Flesh Sculptor in the hopes its magic can restore them. Taking an airship to the town of Willwood, the team made their way into the lair of the insectoid creature Rzichik and bartered to have Bart's wings regrown. In exchange for some goods and the capture of an escaped devil down in the lower sample chambers, Bart was soon flying once again. While going through the process of having his wings detached, Bart tried to reach out through his heartstone to contact his lover Satine, instead connecting with the devil calling itself Vice. Committing to no decisions, but now slightly more convinced by the devil's words, Bart soon stood before the party once again, resplendent and interested in the devil's offer. Heading back up with Harry and Niles, Bart was soon flying again, lost to the abandon of this joy. Downstairs, though, Lyra and Ember chatted a little bit more with Rzichik to learn more about the volcanic eruptions nearby, spotting a glint of metal inside the caldera of the nearby volcano. The previous night, Ember had experienced an intense and seemingly prophetic dream in which he watched flames begin to burn away his homeland, mountains erupting and spewing forth an endless stream of dark smoke and burning lava across the land. Concerned about the meaning of this dream and the connection it seemed to share with the nearby erupting volcano, the team decided they needed to investigate. Meeting up with the airship they had commissioned, the group managed to convince airship skipper Luz to drop them off along the northern edge of the Shattered Isles, as close to the volcano as she was willing to take her ship. The journey across the ocean to the outer eastern edge of the Shattered Isles gave the team a clear view of the ash cloud rising high to the south, the signs of the eruption clear even from such a great distance. Arriving at the small town on the edge of the Shattered Isles, the airship dropped them off at the docks and quickly departed. Looking around the small coastal community, the group were very surprised to find a large number of Meloran Orc rafts docked or beached, the many sailors working quickly to assist or carry evacuated victims from the volcano's reach to a central longhouse. Spotting a familiar face amongst the crowd of helpers, Ember caught up with fellow Ashgrove Firbolg Ikar, who had been searching for a water spirit challenger somewhere around Heatmeave when he spied a fire giant working with strange metal chains moments before the volcanic eruption. Burned on his face despite his fire spirit's spark taking the brunt of the damage, Ikar was keen to head home to rest and warn the Ashgrove of what had happened. While Ember caught up with his old friend, Lyra, Niles and Harry had a chat with a nearby Meloran Orc working on his raft, introduced to the team as Macwi, or Mac for short. Speaking with him, the team learned that he and his husband had helped with the transport of people from the town of Heatmeave, having rushed there with many of his comrades from the nearby floating city of Seastride. In the chaos of the disaster, Mac and his partner Setu were keen to head back out to search for some of their missing friends as soon as possible, the party offering their assistance in exchange for transport. Meanwhile, Bart made his way up to the Longhouse, the many injured victims from the eruption being treated as best as the locals and Meloran Orc visitors could manage. Calling upon his paladin powers and the enchanted tattoo he had received in Oxenford, Bart unleashed a wave of healing energy focused through the holy symbol of Melora he had recovered on his journey. The sudden flash of power did more than restore the hurt and injured people. As Bart felt a sudden breeze ruffle his feathers, the smell of ozone suddenly strong upon the air as he spied the outline of a female form illuminated in the flash of lightning on the horizon. We left off last session as this apparition of Melora spoke to Bart. "I see you, Bartholomew." And that is where we left off last session, and that is phenomenal timing, Dave. Let me bring you in. Get your camera up and running. Welcome, mate. It's a pleasure and a delight to have you join us.
Just made it in time.
Made it perfectly on time. We're going to jump straight back in, not with Bart, but with Lyra and Niles. The two of you had been deciding to head over towards, essentially looking for any sign of merchants or some sort of trading post that you could locate. Seeing an outpost that looked like it was affiliated with the East Oceania trading company, thinking this was probably a good place to kind of like look for supplies and goods. I believe Harry was also accompanying you as well. No, Harry was doing a bit of a lookout, seeing if there was any signs of anything going on. Yeah, that's right. I think we did go through that last session. If you wanted
and also
to...
noting, I think there was a safe house.
Yes, you saw the Thieves Guild Cant symbol for a sign of potential location, safety for Thieves Guild members. Yeah, that's right. So, Lyra and Niles, as you make your way through the town, as you sort of reach the edge of the main cluster of buildings, there's essentially two main streets, both parallel to the water's edge, moving back up towards the inner part of the island. And you can see that most of the buildings are clustered around these two long stretches of road. A few alleyways and side streets join them together. These two roads have both been cobbled. The rest of the pathways here are sand or gravel. It has the feel of a very outer post or a very small coastal village. It's never been sort of invested in heavily. This seems like more of a brief stop-off point or a place for locals only. But as you make your way through the left most of these large pathways that heads up towards the slightly larger looking outpost, trading post, there's a sudden flash of light from the longhouse behind you, this golden energy burning for a second that illuminates the streets around you, followed by a low peal of thunder and a flash of lightning in the sky, just for a moment. And then the thunder clouds are gone. It's once again the ash clouds from the volcano and that scarily silent lightning that you see flashing through the ash clouds above you. This purple tinted lightning with no thunder accompanying it as the electricity arcs between the sections of ash cloud. Because that's a fun fact, if you didn't know. There is no thunder associated with volcanic lightning because it's not clouds smashing into each other with the force and creating that problem. It's actually like the friction creating these arcs of lightning, so it's much more silent.
That's terrifying.
Terrifying, right?
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Scally.
what scaly? Oh no! So, what would the two of you like to do? What would the two of you like to do?
Niles probably jumps at the flash of lightning. Instinctively, being a bird, don't like to be flying around in lightning storms. Got to be very careful with what you're wearing as a bird. I imagine.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. What do I guess? Probably look to Lyra and say, yes. Do you see a general trader at all around, or someone we might be able to buy supplies from?
Only from what I can see on the signs, and as we're sort of looking around, is there anywhere that sort of looks like it's both merchant but also open?
Yeah.
I imagine a lot of them are probably shuttered.
Actually,
evacuated.
interestingly, it's sort of only early evening at this point. I think we said it was around sort of 6:30, 7:30. So it's pretty early evening. It looks like a lot of stuff has shut, but not shuttered or closed. It looks like people have rushed out with the arrival of the Meloran Orcs, and things have just kind of been left in this sort of moment of panic, in this emergency. The residents of the town, most of them have rushed out to help those who think they can. You can see that a number of the little stalls or restaurants, things like that. I mean, when I say restaurants, there's a single cafe/pub that's open. You can see it's currently manned by a kid whose parents have probably rushed off to go and help. He's been left behind to keep an eye out. There's this young human kid, very dark tan skin, hair done up into very thick braids, sitting back, keeping an eye on things, cleaning up some plates, but generally just kind of curious. You can see he's looking around, trying to see what's going on. You think he's just being left in charge of the...
So I guess the general air is there's a sense of emergency, there's people moving around.
Yeah. Very much so.
Okay.
There's this sudden... Something has happened. There's suddenly all these people in the harbour, and the residents of Mudria have rushed out to help in force.
Okay.
But you can see there is a much larger building, quite reminiscent of a warehouse, massive roller doors, roller barn doors set up that are open, and you can see a few people moving through it. A couple of Meloran Orcs have sort of moved in and out of this building. You can see sailors, some coming out with ropes, some coming out with bandages. It looks like people are going to and from this building.
Yeah, so
and
a
it's
provided
a trading post. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we'll be aligned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A large anchor symbol with a coin on the back and the words trading post underneath, which you know is the symbol of the Oxenfurt Trading, or the Oxenfurt Merchants Guild, I should say, the MCG.
Perfect.
Yeah, definitely heading that way.
OMG.
Niles, I'm sort of thinking we're going to pick up some rations, sort of try and restock Mac's ship. Thinking just anything else that might be helpful, like fabric, rope, maybe bandages if they've got them to spare. Anything else you can think of?
Is that to me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just a pre-planning sort of a shopping list.
Rations for the journey I think would be useful. I think Mac did say that he wouldn't be able to provide for us enough for all of us to venture through the Shattered Isles, I suppose. I suppose anything else that looks useful that we might be able to help us. I was thinking if we are getting close to the fire or to the heat, I wouldn't mind something that could help us in that regard as well. Something maybe a bit more resistant to it would be useful. Yeah, I don't know if the trading post would have anything like that. I'm sure it would be in high demand, but I do fear we may be hampered by the elements if we are to get close to this source of trouble.
No, I'm with you there. I'm also thinking maybe at the bare minimum, something that we can just wear over the, over our faces, just because the stuff that I was clearing out of Mac's lungs were kind of spiky.
Yes. Well, yes. No, that was no good at all. Some sort of cloth or mask or...
So I was thinking, at least, and then I was just sort of looking at sort of the Owlin nose. How is this even going to work?
I feel it's a bit of a challenge.
It'd be even easier. Because all you have to do is, you don't have to do the lower jaw. You could just drape a bit of wet cloth over the top of the beak and just let it sit there. It wouldn't even have to be...
At that point, wouldn't he just be waterboarded?
Well, no, not
It's
if only if you pour more water on. If you just have a damp cloth that you've squeezed most of the water out, but it's just still damp, and it was thin, like a linen or something like that, like a thin linen, that'd work perfectly.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right, and then I guess, head in with the roughly knowing what we're keeping an eye out for.
As the two of you make your way inside, you can see that there is quite a lot of activity going on inside the trading post. A number of Meloran Orcs are clustered around a large bench over towards the right-hand side of the entrance. A large countertop with many, many items out on display. And you can see the Meloran Orcs like throwing money on the counter, some of them just grabbing stuff. And behind the counter, a strange creature that I don't think you guys would have seen too many of. A large humanoid, tortoise-like, with an enormous shell painted in all different colors, polished and painted on his back. You can see a very long, very wrinkled neck, bright blue eyes looking out from this very curious face as you see a turtle behind the counter. You don't see a lot of turtles around, but you do see a turtle behind the counter. Yeah, in Oshia, a little bit more rare. The turtles generally stick close to the home where they grew up in. They don't tend to move very far. Most turtles that you find are on the Shattered Isles, so you're in the right place.
There you go.
The biggest population being on the Obsidian Isles. But as you step on through and you see this turtle, you can see the group of Meloran Orcs who are currently working together. It looks like a group of 5 sailors, men and women, all ages. A very old, frail-looking Meloran Orc being helped along by a younger woman, bearing a striking family resemblance. A strapping young lad at his other side, again bearing a family resemblance as they help this elder along. Paying for their supplies, heading on out as they call out the turtle, going, "No, you do not need to pay, please. People are it." And they just throw money and walk out grabbing supplies as he's still talking. As he's like slowly reaches down, picks up the gold and begins to plod on after them. As he comes around the counter and gets in line with you, he watches, he pauses, looks up and goes, "Hello."
Hi. I was wondering if you have any rations and maybe some other stuff that's still available to purchase.
Yes, rations, yes. Oh, give me a moment. I must catch up with those people and return their gold. They do not need to pay for people who are injured.
Oh, well, it looks like they're in quite a hurry.
I also don't think that they'll accept it. I mean, even if you throw it at them.
Oh, I wouldn't throw it. Don't have the upper body strength or the mobility.
As he tries to move his arm, he gets about 10 degrees of movement before his arm hits the shell. He can't really move his arm back to throw shit.
Oh, but you're looking for supplies. We have many foods. Travelers, yes?
Well, yes, we're about to head out on Mac's boat, actually, in the dock. I don't know if you're familiar.
No, but I have some ship's biscuits, some dried fruits, and dried meats. Would that be sufficient?
I'm sure, yes.
Anything you've got to spare?
How many days' rations do you need?
Well, that's where the question of how much do you have to spare comes into question. There's sort of mental math, sort of adding up the party total plus Mac and his partner. Plus, I'm not sure if we didn't ask if Mac's also got crew.
You know it's just Mac and his partner. You know it's just Mac and his partner, and they said they had their own provisions.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
All right.
Just be us having to cover it.
Just us then. Maybe a week just to be on the safe side. I'm not really sure.
5 of you.
Yeah.
Oh, that won't be a problem at all. Oh, you'll need a crate. You look strapping, both of you here.
He begins to slowly turn and walk back towards the counter. He's pretty slow. It's a good 30 seconds to walk maybe 3 meters as he gets back behind the counter, reaches down and slowly lifts up. Pretty decently sized crate. We're talking 60 centimeters, but yeah, perfect. As soon as you go to help.
Let me help you.
Yeah, it's a decently heavy crate. You can see it's got the stamp of the the Ocean Merchant Guilds on it. I called it Oxenfurt, but it is Ocean. The Ocean Merchants Guild on it. And as he reaches on these massive long claws on these very scaly hands, as he reaches forwards, positions the long claws underneath the lid, and then just tilts his hand back, and with a crack, he watches the nails immediately pull free, opening up the top of the crate. Yeah. Opening up the top of the crate, revealing, wrapped packages of dried fruits. You can see there's a number of stacked ships biscuits, sort of like a very hard flatbread-like kind of meal designed to kind of last, as well as some cured meats as well, wrapped in waxed paper. A lot of, and there's also this is specifically for Simon. There's also this very, very right on top, in a waxed paper triangle folded package, you can see a much more oily smoked meat that's on its position there. It looks to be quite spicy. The outer layer's got this sort of reddy orange kind of coloration to it. There he goes. He's recognized it. Got a sort of reddy orange coloration to it. Seems to be quite spicy, and it's the only package of its kind in this large box. Lots of other smoked meats and things like that. There's also this like weird group of sausages that are kind of powdered white on the outside, and it's a moment later, Lyra, that you realize that's not powder, that's a fungus. That's a mold that's grown over the outside to help preserve this. Yeah, saucy.
I definitely want that one. Just take a sample.
Yeah, Well, it's we have it in our world. It's called saucy saucinque. It's a French preserved sausage where they grow like a white mold, like a brie mold or a camembert mold on the outside. It's really good, actually. It's really fucking good. So massive supply of food.
Yes. Would you need this to go and help the people of the nearby towns affected by this eruption?
We're helping, but we're also paying.
Yes.
Because you're going to need this gold to re-provision your shop for everybody else that's now here on this island.
I was planning to claim it on insurance. Disaster relief insurance. We've been insured for 123 years and I've never made a claim.
Oh, is that something that... Oh...
Well,
is that something that is normally honoured in these times?
Well, with the Ocean Merchants Guild, we're insured for these events. There's a portion provided by the Paladin Council for disaster relief.
Oh,
well, I still think we're going to pay, and then you'd still put your that insurance claim in, but and then you can, when the money comes in, you can then use it to help even more people.
I won't accept more than 2 gold for all of this. Okay.
We're also going to get some other stuff, so we'll pay for that. Too,
yes,
right?
yes.
What more do you need? Hopefully I can provide.
Wondering if you maybe had just some scraps of fabric, maybe some rope, even maybe some bandages or burn salves.
Scraps of fabric, cloth. A number of the orcs who just left bought up a large supply of all my bandages, but I do have some linen shirts which you could tear into the bandages.
That would be useful.
Yes, we have a number.
Yeah.
I'm guessing extra large would maybe one of those would suit your needs.
Yes,
I think so. Maybe 1 or 2 of those shirts.
Yes, I've got some just over the far side if you want to rush over and grab those. They're hanging up.
Yeah. Lyra dots over it.
Yes, there's ropes to your left as well, young lady.
And sure enough, you can see fishing tackle and gear, as well as a number of ropes, waxed, braided, threaded. There's a lot of stuff here. Again, it's a fishing village, and stop off for boats. The supplies here for ships.
Yeah, because I was thinking just sort of maybe like one sort of decent sized heavy rope, and then maybe like a sort of a shorter length of whatever sort of finest, sort of more cord like, if he's got one.
Niles will call out and be like, maybe a net as well, Lyra, in case we need to.
Net sounds good.
Fishing.
Yep. Grab a net.
Well, if you're looking to go fishing, you could. The seas around here are rich and bountiful. It could help solve some of your food requirements too. Why don't you grab a fishing line and rod as well? Even just a line on a coil there. Bait you can just use.
Line and rod, if we can stick it in the bag.
Yes, good.
Oh, and maybe some bait if you've got it.
You could just use the preserved meats if you want. Otherwise, live bait you'll have to feed and look after.
Nope, the preserved meats it is.
Wonderful. Well, the rods, the ropes, the linen shirts. For all of that plus the food, to help the people of these islands, 2 gold and 5 silver. Okay.
Niles will hand him like 10 gold.
I was gonna say, can I insight?
Yeah,
can I
sure.
insight check to see what the actual cost is of this?
Yeah, for sure.
Insight, where is it? There it is.
That's what happens when you live for a really long time. give a shit about people and the pain they suffer.
Yeah.
15. Yeah, I mean, there's price tags on a number of the shit that you've just picked up. Like, you don't even have to guess. You could just look at them because you head on over and grab the shirts. The shirts are a couple of copper, maybe like 8 or 9 copper. It's very rough linen. It's designed to sort of be like a shirt that you might throw on as a sailor for hard work. That can get sweaty, can get salty, can get wet, and you can wash it in the ocean and it'll degrade after like 6 months. But that's what it's for. It's designed to just kind of take the brunt of the ocean for you. Couple of coppers we're talking for the shirts. The fishing rod and lines, only about 2 silver. I'm guessing you're not grabbing like a really nice card, you're just grabbing like a pole with fishing line and some hooks. Yeah, again, pretty easy. The rope, we're talking a couple of silver. To be honest, it's probably only about 4 gold, 5 gold total. He's looking like he's taken off about half.
Alright. Yeah, I just like put the whole amount, like sort of like make sure that like maybe see if like Niles has sort of like loaded everything into the bag, maybe so we can possibly make a quick getaway. But then put down, sort of like, I don't know, maybe might sort of like look at Niles and like, 5 to 10, do you reckon? Like, I mean, how much stuff is he giving away at this point?
Yeah, maybe 8. 8 gold.
Yep.
That sounds
8.
Yes.
8 it is, and then slide 8. Yell thank you. Ask if there's anything he needs help with, and then all just start by tailing it. Like,
Wait. Before we leave, I don't know if you have anything like in your shop here, but we are heading towards the volcano. I was wondering if you had anything that might be able to help us against the heat. I don't know if that's something that you would have on hand, or maybe a specialty item that you might have behind the counter.
I generally don't stock many enchanted items, unfortunately. There's not a lot of demand here, you must understand. But I do have something that might be of use. If you were to get burned, this salve, as he reaches down and pulls out what looks like a almost porcelain-esque cylindrical container with a cork that's being jammed into the top of it. You can see that there's these carvings around the outside, and you realize as you look at it, it looks like it's maybe turtle shell that's been carved to not turtle shell that's been carved as he places it on the counter. This is my grandmother's recipe. It's a burn salve. Should help if any of you are unfortunate enough to be burned. I've sent a number over to the Longhouse for assistance with those who have suffered burns.
Oh, wonderful. How much for the salve?
Oh, no, please. You've paid more than enough. More than enough.
Are you sure?
Yes, no, 8 gold is more than sufficient for this. I will use this to hopefully pay off some more people's things that they need. We will pay it forwards, as they say.
Oh, why, thank you.
Double it into the next person.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, sir.
I am York.
York, was it?
York.
Ah, it was lovely to meet you. I'm Niles. My companion here is Lyra. We're here. We've just recently arrived, and we hope to help the villagers along the islands here.
Did you come from Seastride with the Meloran Orcs?
No, we came from the mainland on an airship. Just dropped us outside the outskirts here.
is Seastride nearby?
Yes, this time of year it should be, not too many islands south. By raft or boat, maybe 2 or 3 days' journey.
Oh.
Okay.
Is that where a contingent of the Meloran Orcs have come from?
Oh, yes, most of them have come from Seastride. They said that they saw the plume of smoke from the volcano and dispatched a group of sailors and fishers right away. I believe they were already out on the waves away from Seastride, fishing and hunting. And they came to the aid of those people, poor folk stuck in heatweave.
Oh, yes. Well, that's where we're hoping to head off to.
Good
get
luck.
as close as we can. And thank you. Yes, it's terrible what's happening here. We're hoping to uncover the truth of it all. I don't suppose you've heard any talkings or whisperings from the Meloran Orcs that have passed through here that perhaps have seen things or...
People talk very quickly. I struggle to keep up most of the time, but from what I hear, it was all very sudden. The eruption, out of nowhere. I mean, most people thought that volcano was dormant or dead. I mean, I can tell you that it's never even smoked in my lifetime, and I've lived a while.
Interesting.
I've changed
Yeah, I haven't
turtles.
seen
They live for fucking ages on Nostea because it's the dumbest shit that they don't in the normal thing. I fixed that, don't worry.
That is weird.
First thing I fixed with turtles, like, I live for 60 years. No. I've given them a much longer lifespan, much more similar to elves. It's like, come on,
cool.
come
That
on.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Come on. It's the dumbest shit. Carry on.
You haven't happened to it's a real long shot sort of question, but see any kind of abnormal, maybe giant kin, or any weird sort of metallic objects nearby before the eruption?
I can't say I've heard of anything along those lines, sorry. Wish I could be more help.
Never
Like I
mind.
said, long shot question.
I did hear the giants had returned. It's been the talk of the town. A few nights back, one of their sky castles flew overhead, surrounded by a cloud bank.
Oh,
Hey,
Yes. Yes, it was late at night. I was taking my evening constitutional.
oh.
what
First
kind of
I-
direction would you say they were headed?
Oh, it was headed northeast of here, towards the mainland. Quite quickly, too. Looked like it had been coming from far towards the south. Had a curve to its trajectory as it travelled over. First I thought it was just a large bank of clouds, but it was moving fast and against the wind.
Always wanted to say that line together, so.
Have you? I mean, you've obviously seen a few summers, but have you
Oh,
seen
yes.
a sky castle like this before?
Oh, occasionally we would see one of the flying cities move overhead. Valaris sometimes tracks this way, depending on the currents, the air currents above.
But this castle, was it one
Oh,
you had seen, or
No, very
Oh.
different. I've never seen one surrounded by clouds like that before. The sky cities that we have, you could see the cities from the ground. This was surrounded by cloud, spires poking up. To blink a
You
few
say-
times to see closer.
Oh, you say it was arcing towards the northeast, so it would have
Yes.
come from a southerly
Yes,
position
it looked
then.
like it was coming almost sort of southwest, but it kind of curved as it came overhead, changing more easterly,
Or
northeasterly.
it went right over the volcano? Or do you reckon maybe the curve was avoiding the volcano?
Oh,
I
well,
just-
actually, now
actually-
that you say that, the curvature would have taken it out of the volcano's range. But the volcano hadn't erupted then. This was, maybe 3-4 nights ago. The volcano, two nights ago, I think, 2 days ago, when we first got reports.
Interesting.
Other than the clouds, no, there's no other sort of distinctive things that you could maybe see from the underside, like sort of anything outside of the usual that you see other than the clouds.
Well...
Maybe they may have seen something and we could ask them, if they noticed anything.
Oh, there weren't many people out and about. I generally am the last one to go to bed around here. My sleep's got all
Sorry,
mucked
of the
up.
flying,
Oh, of the
flying,
castle.
yeah.
Well, I thought I saw something, but it didn't make much sense at the time. It looked
Oh.
like a great big eye underneath, gazing down. But,
Like a
I...
blinking eye?
Yeah, like a giant eye, like an orb underneath. Then blinked and rubbed my eyes, and it was gone. Could have sworn it was looking right at us for a moment. Gave me the willies.
Strange.
Very.
Well, thank you for that, York. It's given us a lot to think about.
No, my pleasure. Just make sure you look after yourselves, and if you're off to help other people, try not to put yourselves in too much danger, all right?
Of course.
Good luck, younglings.
Oh, actually, sorry, just before we leave, so I'm just looking in the party chat. Do we know how many spyglasses Ember has on him?
I believe you've got one, but
got one.
you could
I
make.
know.
Whatever works for you. Yeah, because I went to make them when we're back in
Yeah.
the guild, but
Oh, we've
Wasn't
lost
sure
you.
how
So,
many,
there we go. You're
so-
back. I lost you for a second.
Back.
Oh, that's funny. A little bit of lag. That's all good. All good. Sorry, I see you move, and then the audio comes like a second later. So I'm like thinking something's wrong. No, you're all good. I think it's back now. Yeah, you've definitely made one. Did we roll for you to do a No. Okay. So what we'll do now then? Why not? What we'll do now then? Could you please roll for me? What stat would make the most sense for you to be using here? Are you being, because this is kind of like a tool proficiency in a way. You're using your like woodcarver's tools. Are you being very precise and very careful with your measurements and planning, which would be more of an intelligence check? Are you perhaps using knowledge that's being passed on to you by your elders, maybe more of a wisdom check? Is this a dexterity kind of thing? Are you being very careful with your hands and carving?
I would say it's a learned task or learned thing that's been passed down. So I'd say more of a wisdom check personally.
In that case, then, can I get you to roll me a wisdom check, and you may add your proficiency because you are proficient in woodcarver's tools, I believe.
Fantastic. In glassblowing tools, I am.
Oh, glassblowing.
correct.
Yeah, I mean, look, glassblowing or woodcarvers, I'd take either. 15. And what's your proficiency bonus? I think it's +3 as well, isn't it? +4?
+3, correct.
18.
Yes, 18.
18 is not
Nice.
bad. I'm going to say that, like, with the downtime and with the tools and materials available too, you could have made 2 or 3 for sure. Maybe 2 short range, 1 slightly longer range.
Perfect.
I mean, really, it's
Great.
just 2 lenses that you're making, 3 ideally, but 2 shaped lenses to apply the magnification, which is not that hard for you to do. I mean, all you're doing is blowing a sheet of glass, cutting it out, and then just sanding it down till it's the right shape with a bit of water and a bit of sandpaper, and then polishing it. I mean, it's not technically hard if you know what you're doing. And otherwise, it's just a tube. Like, it's like the spyglass is one of those inventions that, like, once you know how to make it, is incredibly simple. It's just knowing how to make the lenses and what you need to do with them. So yeah, for sure. I'd say, yeah, 2 short range, 1 long range spyglass.
Perfect.
Right.
Done, done,
In
done.
that case, yeah, not going to stop to buy one if Ember's sort of got a few.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Oh,
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yes,
Good luck.
we'll need it. And then, yeah, I guess head back.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye out if there's anyone that sort of looks like they're in sort of a sticky spot on the way back, but otherwise, yeah.
Just keeping a general eye on the discourse of
Yeah.
the situation. Yeah.
For sure. Harry,
Yes.
what would you be doing during this time after keeping
How many
watch?
people have you robbed?
After
How many
keeping
people
watch,
know I robbed them?
Roll a D100.
have you now collected a liver of silver, a pancreas of copper, and a foot of
A
bronze?
toenail of platinum.
Yeah.
No, Harry is just he's still waiting in the shadows. Just keeping an eye on the orcs because they're our ticket to where we need to go, and Harry knows the others are getting food and all the important stuff. So
You're kind of
his
turning into
duty.
a voyeur. You're just watching them like kiss each other and have like show their love to each other.
I'm like a
Harry's
silent bodyguard. That's
in,
what, that's
in the cock chair, just in his palm tree.
swaying back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Harry sees his role here as to keep an eye on them and protect them,
Okay.
whilst the others get supplies. And
In that case, then, this is what you see. Because we did already roll a perception check for you last time when you were keeping an eye out. And from memory, it was actually pretty decent. 14. Yeah,
Yeah,
easy done.
they were playing in the water and stuff.
A little bit more that you see then. After a while, Harry, you can see that the commotion going on over at the Longhouse, you also see this flash of light, hear the thunder behind you, the flash of lightning. A few moments later, you watch as a number of the Meloran Orcs begin to make their way back down towards the rafts, reuniting with friends. But you also see something else strange happen. You watch as one of the Meloran Orcs heads down to the water's edge and begins slapping the water in a rhythmic motion, making almost like a pattern of slaps on the water's surface. After a moment or two, as the ripples begin to die down, you watch a shadow under the surface of the waves approach the shore, swimming very, very quickly. And as it gets to shore, you watch as breaking the surface of the water, a head with fin-like ears splaying out behind, long hair trailing behind them, as a humanoid figure swimming very, very quickly rushes up towards the shore, begins to stand, and moves over towards the Meloran Orc who've been slapping the surface of the water. You recognize this figure. This is a Triton, an aquatic humanoid who you don't really see on land very often on account of their skin drying out after being away from the water for too long. Bluish, greenish skin, shades sort of ocean blue, ocean green between, often adorned with coral-like patterns and structures on their clothing, as well as actual coral woven into their hair, armor made out of coral as well for the most part. You can see, this is a male Triton, judging by the look of him, much more androgynous, the two Triton groups. But you can see this Triton stand up, begin to head on over. No weapons, no armor, dressed in this very loose-fitting fishnet-style clothing that drapes across their body, quite loose to prevent too much drag in the water. And you can see that they have a few other Triton in the water behind them that swim up, but don't step onto land. As the Triton moves over to the Meloran Orc, you can see they have a long conversation, talking, pointing occasionally back towards the south. A few of them pointing up towards the longhouses. You watch as, after a short period of time, another Meloran Orc steps forward. A much younger woman begins talking with the Triton as well, while the male...
Can Harry move into earshot without being seen? Is there any coverage?
Yeah, what was your stealth check?
He's not going to be creepy lurking,
24.
but he's just
lurking.
Lurking, yeah.
Yeah. He's a bun cell. It's like an incel, but a bunny cell. As you begin to creep on around, stay into the shadows. As you head back down, I mean, the docks are a clutter of stuff at the moment. It's not too hard for you to sort of duck behind some barrels, move quietly and silently. You're in a bit of luck. The positioning of the island, because this town is on the southern end, the moon rising sort of east to west in the sky above. Because of the position of the moon, a lot of shadows from the mountain behind this town are being cast onto the dock in this particular part of it, giving you ample opportunity to move from shadow to shadow quietly to get into position. As you get up into position and slowly listen out, you catch the conversation from where the female Meloran Orc jumps in.
We don't know how many more there are out there. We still need to head back out and see if we can find the rest of them. Are you willing to... I know it has been a long journey, but can you swim a bit further to see if you can find the rest of them? I am not sure if I can head back out tonight. My companions and I are tired. We have swum all the way from Sea Stride.
As the Triton steps forward and speaks, you can see along their neck, gills occasionally moving in the air as the humanoid creature tries to sort of breathe through lungs that don't really work very well on land.
But we need to know what happened to the rest of them. If you can head back out tonight, that would be wonderful. The rest of us, we think we might try and make our way back. Some Outlanders arrived on an airship. One of them has done some sort of healing. Many of the people, I think, would be okay. We could do more good by heading back out, searching for more survivors. Okay, give us a moment to rest, and we will head back out. We bring news from Sea Stride too, brother. The volcano eruption, a wave, it has caused some damage to the outer pylons. Coral Gardens have taken some damage. We will need to turn the city south, move further away.
Understood. We will regroup later. Yeah, Niles. Or Matt, I should say.
No, this is more Matt. I'm trying to find Sea Stride on the map.
You won't find Sea Stride on the map or any of the other floating cities. They travel.
Oh, no, okay. No, I thought it was an underwater city.
It's like the flying cities. So Drifthaven, Sea Stride.
Oh, it's a floating. Okay. Yep.
It's a floating city. So there's three floating cities. You now know the name of two of them.
Cool. I had a feeling it was a floating city, but I wasn't sure. That's cool.
So Matt, you're from the Silverwind merchant family. You would know a little bit about Sea Stride. And actually, Harry, you're a merchant as well. Can you roll me a history check with advantage, please, Harry? See what you know about Sea Stride. There's a reason you're getting advantage for this, because of Sea Stride's kind of position in the...
Well, and the total did just mention Sea Stride.
Did just mention Sea Stride. Oh, Harry. 11. Niles, you can make a history check as well. Same thing.
Can I retroactively make one? Yeah. Sick.
Harry, here's what you know of Sea Stride. History check, with advantage. Harry, here's what you know of Sea Stride. Sea Stride is the Meloran Orc city that travels along the south sort of eastern to western. It sort of moves in an arc around the Shattered Isles. The currents that take it 7 Niles. Holy shit! Two.
It was not
The rolls are back.
Niles,
We're
there's
giving us advantage though. We appreciate it.
There's 3 floating cities, Niles. Drifthaven, Seastride, and the other one. They float.
Yeah.
On
They're
water.
cities. They're cities, and people live in them. People who live on the water live on them,
Keep
and there's
track of them.
boats.
They're
A lot of
always
boats
floating
involved.
around.
Yeah, a lot of boats involved as well. Harry, you know a little bit more than that. Yeah, so Seastride kind of travels in a little bit like an arc as it moves up and around. So it travels basically in this kind of half crescent moon, the southern edge of complete mental blank, Oshia, the southern edge of Oshia, moving around the Shattered Isles, taking it past the Aeris Theocracy. It's one of the main trading points of the...
That's terrible. I don't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny that that's the one you don't know anything about.
Oh, yes.
I mean, a 7 is like... Yeah, I mean, you know that it's there. You know it's a thing. It exists. It's a big trading point between Chiari and Oshia because of its kind of trajectory. It sort of heads over. It's the closest city to Chiari, the Dragonborn and Dragon capital, and the Dragon Veloxer, the continent. It's the closest sort of main trading hub that moves between them. So a lot of goods that flow between Oxenfurt and Chiari come through Seastride. The Shattered Isles also travels around there. A lot of trade and commerce flows through those areas as well. Importantly, unlike Drifthaven, which is predominantly Meloran Orc with a number of Triton, but not many, it's also much more of a smaller population. Seastride is probably more 60% Triton, 40% Meloran Orc, because the waters towards the south are far warmer. Even with the protection of Melora, the Triton have a much easier time living in and around Seastride. It's a much smaller city in terms of spread than Drifthaven, because the city is actually an enormous coral spire that floats on the surface. Imagine a series of spiral shells, the tapered spiral shells. Imagine a series of tapered spiral shells with the tips pointing down into the depths, with coral gardens growing all around the outside. And when I say giant, I mean like 20, 30 meters, 40 meters tall, the smallest ones of these massive floating shells. So the Triton sort of live mostly underneath the waves. The Meloran Orcs live on top. But a number of these shells have been hollowed out and allow for air to be brought right down to the depths to help enrich the waters. So it's a much more vertical city that sort of forms this enormous, almost like spire inverted down into the depths of the water. And the other reason that it is around the southern edge is because the waters around the Shattered Isles, super deep. Whatever continent was once there when the Shattered Isles were destroyed, when it was a continent, gone. The sea around the Shattered Isles, we're talking hundreds of kilometers deep in places. So it's a much easier vertical city construction. It's not going to scrape over anything shallow as it moves around. So yeah, that's what you know about Seastride.
Is that depth more, I guess, looking at the Shattering Isles map,
Yes.
is that more like...
I've actually marked them on the
like,
maps with the color of the ocean. I've
gone
too far, I'll be honest. Yeah.
The darker, some of the darker patches. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All the darker patches are where the water gets very, very dark. We get very, very deep, I should say. So yeah, all around the edge of the elemental states through the Shattered Isles, it goes like a half moon kind of crescent, moving on this sort of perpetual ocean current that moves between.
Yeah, gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
That dark patch in between the elemental states, Oshir and the Shattering Isles, kind of that little patch there is really interesting.
Yep.
Cool.
Like a Mariana Trench right in the middle.
Not too far off. It's the no. Yeah. So, Yep. I'm trying not to do that thing where I just go like, here's another cool thing. No. Yeah. We'll get to it. But that's what you know, Harry, with your history check.
Yeah, no. I guess Harry, he steps out of the shadows, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are still looking for survivors? We're the party that landed on the airship. So, what can we do to help?"
You watch as your sudden appearance, stepping out from behind some crates where you've been hiding and eavesdropping, does surprise the Meloran Orcs, the 2 Meloran Orcs and the 3 Tritons. The 2 Tritons who are staying half immersed in the water, just their heads poking up, immediately disappear under the water in a moment. The other Triton who you were talking to, you watch as he inflates his chest as he looks towards you, water beginning to pool around his hands as it raises up from the ocean's surface, forming a spear in his hand, a large bladed spear formed out of the water as you suddenly step out and surprise them. The Meloran Orc immediately down at her waist, pulling out a scimitar. As you then immediately hands up, start talking. You watch as they relax, the Meloran Orc going, e83, what the fuck? She looks at you as you just step out from nothing.
Oh, I was just heaving a little snack in a nip behind those crates, and I heard your conversation. So I thought I'd let you guys know I was here, and not just tied.
Politeness would have dictated you speak up sooner. But well met, Rabbit.
No, I'm part of the group that came in the airship. We were actually investigating the actual cause of the volcano, and we're thinking about heading that way. But is there anything that y'all need help with?
We thank you for your assistance in this matter.
As the Triton sort of steps forward, the Meloran Orc putting her scimitar away and sort of taking a few breaths with her hand on her chest. She's like, what the... people just jumping out, fucking... The Triton sort of stepping out.
Thank you for your assistance. Some of our companions are still missing. Are you planning on heading close to the volcano?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we were.
You must use caution. The eruption has caused earthquakes underneath the waves. Creatures stir in the water.
Oh, that's terrifying, since I'm pretty sure none of my party are very good at fighting in the water. It's good to know.
Do you have
you see
a vessel?
A safe route to go?
Safe route. Hard to say. Passage we came through, we were attacked twice by sea creatures, alarmed and panicking.
Okay. Well, if we're going by boat, is there anything you could help? Anything you could lend us or help us with to navigate closer to the volcano, or any tips?
Where are you heading? My 2 companions and I were planning to head back south again after a short rest. We might be heading in a similar direction.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I'm not the navigator, so we can go over and talk to our friend the Meloran Orcs over there, and take a short rest while my party comes back. We're getting some supplies.
Are you traveling with residents of Seastride, or have you secured other transport?
I actually don't know their residents, but they're here and part of the rescue effort.
Do you want to... You saw the tattoos, Harry.
I mean, they're Meloran Orcs, but are they from here?
So you know that they had... So the Meloran Orcs who are from one of the floating cities always have a tattoo over their heart of their home floating city. And the tattoo for these orcs you didn't recognize. In the moment, you didn't recognize it. It wasn't the same as the Drifthaven ones you've seen before. Now that you're kind of reflecting on that, and with your history check figuring out, oh yeah, these guys are from Seastride. The tattoo had this very stylized central spiral coming down. Yeah, they probably are from Seastride.
Well, they had this tattoo, and Harry describes the tattoo.
Yes.
I mean, you look at the Meloran Orc standing next to the Triton. She has the exact same tattoo. Right over her
Harry
chest.
just describes it instead of pointing at it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Doesn't want to point. Oh yeah, this one.
Nice.
I can't remember their name, but it was only like half an hour ago in game.
I even said it. So that's actually ideal because I said it about 53 minutes ago. But you weren't. Were you here for that part of the intro? You might not have been.
No, I was not.
Macquee, Mac for short.
What's the spelling on Macquee? Just the full?
MACQUI. Macquee.
I would have spelled it MACWEE. Macquee.
Macquee. So it's just
Yes.
MAC, isn't it?
Yeah, it was big Mac over there. He was the one who
Fuck.
Yeah.
Not expecting that.
So yeah, I mean, once you guys, I mean, it's up to you. I'm not telling you what to
I
do, but
know
if you want to take a rest
Macquee
and come with us,
I know Macquee well. If you are traveling with him, we will wait around until you are ready. Are you planning on departing tonight?
the answer is yes. But me and my party sometimes don't follow the plan. So I was just gonna wait here until they get back, and if they don't come back, then I was just gonna wait here until tomorrow, I guess. But I think they said they'd be back soon, just getting some supplies.
Very well. We will speak with Macquee.
Yeah, more the merrier.
We'll travel with you for a time if your paths align with ours. Is that all right with you, Sese?
You watch as the Meloran Orcs goes,
Yeah, no, that's all good with me. I'll check back in with Drax and we'll get things ready. The rest of us will head round the eastern side. We'll see if we can catch any stragglers. If you're heading south, good luck, and we'll see you back at Seastride.
You watch as they then both do a very formal kind of bow that you've not seen before. You watch as they both place a hand up to their foreheads and then touch each other's foreheads and then bring their heads in close and then step away.
Harry observes and just gives them a nod as well, not doing the bow. Yeah, well, I mean, also, while you guys get a rest, you can give us some tips on how best to fight these monsters when we're not really good in the water, and then that might be good, because that way we can help you if you come across them.
Yes, there are some techniques we can teach you, but your clothing, your armor, your fur even, will slow you in the water. We have seen it before with others, similar to your kind. Just so you are aware.
Either Harry can either try this, or does he know? Does his heavy crossbow slow down if he shoots in the water, since it's technically magic?
Yes.
Even though it's not a magical bolt? Even
though the bolt is magical, all bows and arrows, just because of the physics of it, do slow down in water.
Okay. Cool. So he doesn't have to pull it out and see in front of them. Okay, yeah, cool. That sounds good. So I guess Harry's gonna lead them back to McQuee and wait there.
Are you bringing the intentional misrepresentation of names from Avatar into Return of the Giants now, Dave? Is this a thing you're doing?
I don't know. Are you picking on me for the way I speak?
Well played, sir. Well played, sir. Yes, I am. Fuck you, Dave. So as we
I'm being discriminated. I'm being squashed.
You're being squashed.
Yeah,
you wish. Let's jump in with Ember in that case, if you're there, Si. Otherwise, we'll jump in with.
I am.
Perfect, Amundo. That sounds like you've gotten to a nice bit of a HSP, I would say. Is that fair to say?
No, I think it's also my connection's a little bit dodgy, so my camera's not going
No
great.
dramas.
But anyway.
At all. No dramas.
The
Ember.
HSP is just coincidental.
I mean, look,
definitely. Just covered myself in the sauce.
If you're dual wielding a kebab and a HSP, I salute you, sir. That is a heroic effort.
I do what I can.
Fucking impressive. I did the same the other night and I felt sick afterwards. Sick.
Massive regrets, but it's fine. It's okay. I'm not too much effort here.
You
It's
sleep
fine.
better afterwards, and you just wake up
true.
really thirsty.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's
not
spot
wrong.
on. Ember, when we left off, you had been speaking with your friend Ikar, the Firbolg, who was also from the Ash Grove. I think we kind of left off where you had sort of had a bit of a chat. He was going to head back to the Ash Grove, basically give the warning. Here's what's gone down. Be prepared, guys. There's some shit happening on the islands, and try and catch up and see what's been happening as well. Pass back the news. Hey, Ember's safe. We need to probably try and reconvene somewhere in the future. I think that was kind of the plan as I remember it from talking with Ikar. Where would you be heading next, Ember?
So once done that, I was going to actually head towards where Bart is or was, where he was doing the healing. So I'd be heading that way.
Perfect.
Like
Then
a
you
town hall, right?
Yeah, imagine like an enormous like community hall, essentially like a very open, no walls in place.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a freestanding roof with pillars. But yeah, like a community space for performances, for dance, for rituals, for yeah. I mean,
Like the dancing hall in Lilo and Stitch.
like the dancing hall in Lilo and Stitch. That's a good example. Yeah, it's a great example. As you make your way over towards the dancing hall, Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. As you make your way over towards the hall, Ember, you very quickly see Bart having just finished this performance. Not performance. What's what I'm looking for? This like magical, impressive magical feat.
It's a miracle.
Let's not go too far. It's an impressive magical feat. In that case, then, if you're heading straight over to meet up with Bart, I think we will quickly jump with Bart first, then, just to see the kind of fallout from that sudden apparition of Melora, and you'll arrive basically as he finishes that, because that's the timing of that's almost perfect. So, Bart, as you turn around, you smell ozone for a second, the kind of like smell of energy in the air, of a storm in the air. As your feathers begin to sort of rustle and rise, rising on the back of your neck, you turn and see illuminated behind you this flash of lightning in the storm clouds above, this kind of outline of a woman, very messy hair, who speaks to you, and then a second later, another flash of lightning and the apparition is gone. What do you do?
Look, I'll probably turn in her direction. And I remember doing, when I first got the amulet from Lyra, a religion check, and I knew who Melora was as one of the deities. I'd like to assume...
There are some Owlin and Aarakocra who have begun to worship Melora. I mean, she's the goddess of the wilds and the storms. If you're a messenger bird for the Aarakocra and Messenger Guild, and you're flying through a storm... you're praying to Melora, you make it to the other side. It's not crazy to think that some of the heiress would actually begin to secretly worship. And they've been here for a while. They've started to pick up some of the connections to the gods. There are a couple who secretly worship Melora. Despite the kind of efforts of the Zishi to stamp out religion amongst the Owlin and Aarakocra, there are still some who you would know.
No, and that makes sense, because it would be similar to sailors like throwing a coin to Poseidon, like just before they're about to do a trip.
Exactly. Yes, exactly right.
I will, even with all of the eyes on me at the moment, I know it's going to look a bit odd to them, but understanding the importance of what just happened, especially with everything that's sort of been leading up with Hadar and these larger, more powerful entities that are sort of beyond Bart's comprehension. Proper respect shown where it should be shown, something that he knows from his family's lineage. He's going to just instantly take a knee in the direction that she was. Thank you.
There's no reply. The apparition is gone. But as you sort of kneel there for a moment, you feel a hand suddenly on your shoulder. And as you turn and look up, you see a much older Meloran Orc. Grey hair tied back into a series of very loose braids, seashells, coral tied into the braids, forming this, very almost like a tiara-like crown of coral braided into her hair. Lines on her face, long, deep laughter lines from a lifetime on the ocean, and hopefully smiling, hard to say. Clear blue eyes with these rims of almost like a white kind of arc around the outside of them. As this old woman, this old Meloran Orc stares down at you, and you can see that she has some of the most intricate tattoos you've ever seen on a Meloran Orc. They don't just stretch across her body, all down her arms, all up her neck, rising up to form these like spiral-like patterns around her mouth. And as she opens her mouth and goes to speak, you can see even on her tongue, there are tattoos that weave around these wave-like patterns across her tongue. And even more interestingly, unlike a lot of the other Meloran Orcs where the tattoos have clearly been done over time, you can see that they've been added as time has gone on. These look like they were all done around the same time, and all of them are continuous and flow together. No deeds etched upon her skin. Even more interestingly, her home city, over her heart where the home city is, instead of just one, you can see what looks like a triad of shapes forming this strange structure bound by rings of water. As she smiles down at you, places a hand on your shoulder.
Well then, Our Lady appears to you.
I guess so. I just wanted to help. There's a lot of things happening in Nostea at the moment. Any allies will be important in this, and I'm no fool to turn my nose up to a god, even if it's not my own preferred. Are you seeing the tattoos all done at the same time? The first thing that jumps to Bart's mind. Are you a priestess?
In a way, yes. Yes.
I was assuming it's sort of all been done during maybe some sort of like rite, or
Very
a
much like
ritual?
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In a way, yes. I am one of Melora's tide mistresses.
Whoa.
We speak.
Sorry, I was just knowing you there. I'll sort of be speechless.
We speak
Okay,
from time to time. But Melora is not like many of the other gods. She cares not for worship, cares not for followers. Whether you believe in her or not is irrelevant to her. Melora cares about deeds, actions. What you have done for my people is a testament to your character, regardless of your intentions.
there were people that needed help. It's not just myself. My entire group is here for the exact same purpose. We hope to confront the volcano and anything happening here. There is more that I can do if possible. I know I have closed wounds, but from my own learnings of the body, chi, the way that blood flows, some of these may have lung or respiratory diseases. I may be able to help with that as well, if you would like.
It's at this moment that Ember arrives perfectly on time and walks up towards you. Ember, yeah, you see the same old Meloran Orc chatting to Bart. Again, very beautiful, intricate tattoos, reminiscent of like a wave. You can even see stretching up the arms, what looks like a coral reef has been like tattooed all across her back and spine, all the way down her shoulder. It's incredible. Not too dissimilar to the designs that you saw inside Inkspren's shop, actually. Not too dissimilar from that at all. But as you get up with Bart and Ember, as you get up with Bart and this Tide Mistress, not sure what that means. Yeah, she watches, she turns and nods and goes, another from the airship. Welcome. Both of you have come, you and your friends have come at a timely moment. Whether or not you believe the gods help or provide opportunity, I think it is no accident that you are here. Melora allows the world to guide people to where they need to be. I think you've come at the right time. Any help you can provide?
Ember and give a nod.
Appreciated.
Yes, if you or any of the medicine people here could point me to... I can't do it much, but I guess those with any lingering pain that has not been healed by the light I cast before. I'm not sure. Ember, do you have anything readily available? I know we're trying to ration our stamina for the volcano.
Oh, I do. I can help, and if we get a bit of rest on our trip as well, I think we can help much more people before we leave.
Before you spend too much time and effort on this, you are not healers by trade, more by necessity, yes. It is not your...
Yes.
Yeah. I do not think the Mistress of the Wilds sent you here as healers.
I mean, we're happy to help if that's what's needed.
Of course, and we appreciate. What you have done already is excellent, but what I'm saying, those who survive in the wilds know when to cauterize a wound, when to bandage a wound, and when to leave it for another time. Don't use all your energy in one go. Cannot drink all the fresh water in one day.
Tide Mistress, do you mind? We're about to go to the volcano, on the way attempting to save some more of the refugees, nearby villages, towns. clans that have had to flee from its smog and flame. I'm not sure if your people or any of the locals here have any clothing that is more suited to the heat of a volcano. We come from a lush life.
I must profess we too have been lucky. This is the first eruption we've had to deal with in many years, and the closest to our fair city that we have ever had. I am not sure that there are such items of clothing within this small village, or indeed in all of Seastride, that can protect against the heat of magma, burning rage, the inside of a volcano.
In
I
that
will
case,
ask.
no,
Will
that's
ask.
fine.
See what
If it's-
protection our mistress can provide.
Another inquiry that may be easier, if we're going to be heading in that direction. I know a similar protection against heat is just water. Wet clothing acts as a shield of sorts, almost. Just
As long as you can keep it fresh, the longer you wear wet clothing, the water will start to transmit the heat quicker and quicker through, and once it warms up, it will become more of a burden than a help.
in the chance that we need to dive into a volcano, hopefully we're not going to be in there for too long, would you have spare water skins?
Yes, we can fetch water skins, that's not a problem.
You know as well Lyra has a decanter of endless water though, Bart.
Yeah, it only pauses a certain way, and it can only be on one person, so I'm thinking if we all have a couple of extra, like, grenades...
There's a geyser function it can take.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh yeah, it's got 3 forms. It can dribble out water, it can pour water, or it can become a geyser that shoots water out and pushes things back.
Look, I'll still get some water bags, just in case.
Just in case.
Can never be too prepared.
Yes, we can organize.
You watch as she looks over and nods to one of the Meloran Orcs nearby, who immediately drops everything, makes a weird kind of like diamond, almost like a weird hand sign with their hands together, sort of crossing over one another to form this kind of like diamond-like shape, bowing and then moving away to go and fetch water skins. As she nods, calls out water skins, watches the figure heads off, returning a moment later with 6 leather water skins they place down, all of which are full.
Okay, sweet. I'll add them. Thank you. Ember, do you know where the others are? Are we ready to leave?
I don't know if they're ready to leave just yet, but I think they were gathering rations, so might not be too far off.
As you say that, Ember, you watch as the Tide Mistress turns her attention to you fully for the first time. You watch as she pauses for a second, cocking her head and smiles.
Ah, interesting. You have also attracted the attention of the divine.
Oh, bye-bye.
Yes, not my mistress, Melora. But I see a aura about you. Interesting.
That might just be the flames of my friend Flicker here. I'm not too sure if that's maybe divine or not.
Maybe, maybe not. I wonder if there is more at work making sure you were here, your companions were here, than you realize.
Well,
Well.
thank you for your time.
Be safe. And when you succeed, if you happen to be heading to the south, come via Seastride. My auger room is there. You can focus the lenses of the crystal chamber and maybe see more than I can see with my own eyes. If you wanted to know a little more about the attention you have garnered, Firbolg.
No, I'd love to know more once we've helped out with the people in the volcano.
Your spirit, the one you refer to as divine, you can call it, dismiss it, yes. It's not a fully corporeal creature. Spirit of flame, judging by the luxurious fire.
No, yes, exactly right. He's always hanging around, but the actual flame itself, I can call upon it and kind of awaken it when I need to, which has many benefits.
Interesting. We have another. Sea Stride, there is a woman, Triton woman, has a similar spirit, one of water. Ice.
Oh. Where is this ice or water person? Where are they? Are they
Last
here,
I
or-
saw, she was preparing to leave to assist. I have only arrived in the last hour or so from Sea Stride. My group came to assist those of our companions who had moved on ahead. I am not sure where she is now, but she will come back to Sea Stride eventually. If you do not run into her, you can find her there. She has often spoken of testing her mettle against another such druid.
I would be very interested in testing myself as well. It sounds like quite an interesting challenge. Maybe I might learn something too.
Indeed. I think you would. Yes. Come to Sea Stride when this is done. There is much for you there. Again, it's no accident that you and I have met this night. Firbolg.
Thank you. I'll make sure to venture back once I've done all I can.
Good luck.
Gives you a smile, begins to head back over towards the injured people.
Give a slight nod and bow, and turn to Ember. Okay, well, we know two went into the markets, and Threign and Harry staying near the coastline. Should we just head back to the coast as well, meet back up with them?
I think Thraign's back in Oxenfurt.
Threign's not with you. I decided to leave him back in Oxenfurt for this bit because
Okay.
it's so much easier for me to just have when Jared rejoins us, it's so much easier to have some bullshittery with teleportation via Griswold. It's so much easier for me to do that, or just have him be sent on even ride on some bronze griffin that he's the figurines of wondrous power. He just rides over on one of those, a single-use one, and as soon as he lands, it just crumbles into dust. It's so much easier for me to hand wave that than it is for me to have to manage having Threign with you this whole time.
Okay, easy. Recon, Harry's on the beach by himself. Do you think we should just head there?
I think that would be a great idea. Make sure that Harry's not getting into any trouble while we've been gone.
Well, that's perfect timing. As the two of you head out of the longhouse, you see Lyra and Niles heading back towards the beach, and Harry making his way up the docks back towards the boat. Oh, actually, Harry, I should ask, where did you want to head next? Did you want to make your way back to the boat, or did you want to go check out the safe house?
Yeah, Harry's just chilling on the boat, taking a short rest.
Sweet as. Well, in that case,
he sees his role as lookout because he has Devil's Sight since night, so he's just resting his eyes now and getting ready for the trip.
Perfect.
Bart,
in that case, wait.
As we do meet everyone one by one, Bart's going to keep 2 of the 6 and give 1 of the remaining 4 to each of the party members. I know you've probably already got some, but like I said, just an extra one for everyone, just as an in-case scenario, backup plan, but one of the water skins just to each of you.
Perfect.
Oh, cool.
Yes. And then I think if we can maybe also split up the rations and whatnot, for in case we get separated or whatever.
Each of you can add 5 days worth of rations to your packs.
I'll probably rip up the cloth as well, since it was just a couple of big linen shirts. We just sort of divvy that up as well.
So in that case, also add, I'm going to say maybe 5 linen bandages to each of your inventories. And you can use these to either be a face mask to help cover from the smoke, or use some actual bandages. But yeah, 5 linen, maybe 5 linen strips. And then we'll know that you can use them as either bandages or as a...
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 5 days worth of rations, 5 linen strips for each of you. Perfect. As you all reconvene, you can see that the Meloran Orc you've been speaking to before has been joined by his husband, Harry. I mean, you saw when you were looking from afar, his husband rejoined them, have a bit of a chat, getting the boat ready, as well as the Triton that you had seen in the water speaking with the other Meloran Orc. And as the Triton, whose name I don't think you know yet, is talking with Mac and his husband. And do you know his husband's name? I think I said it in the intro, but I don't think you guys know it yet.
I think he actually said it earlier. Yeah.
Okay, cool. As long as you guys, I couldn't remember if you guys had heard it or not. as Mac, Setu, and this Triton are speaking, all of you reconvene together, hand out some stuff while they speak, and then you watch as Mac nods and heads over towards the rest of you. The Triton stepping onto the front of the boat and putting his feet in the water at the very front, while Setu begins to unbind the ropes, binding the raft to the docks.
Sorry, can we also make sure that Mac and Setu also have some fabric, just to throw in case there's more volcanic ash?
Yeah, if you want to give them, there'd be, as I said, like 2 massive linen shirts. I'm probably being a bit stingy saying you got 5 each. So yeah, there's fabric for them too, for sure. Yeah, easy done. As Mac heads over towards you, nods. All right then, you ready to make tracks? Going to be skimming across the waves. Harry, was it?
Yeah, that's me.
You were speaking with my friend Rilia before the Triton. He is going to come with us.
Well, I thought you followed me here. Harry looks around. Not here.
Yeah, you can see Rilia is talking to Setu right now.
Yeah, he's just taking a bit of a break. He's been out all night, and he's just getting ready to go out with us.
Yes, he is going to swim ahead of the boat with the drift globe and him in the water. We should get good warning if there is anything coming up that we need to deal with. And if you have never seen a Triton fight underwater, you are in for a treat not often witnessed. But
he said he'd also give us some advice on how to help him in a fight as well. So.
Oh, did he? That is very generous. He does not always share their tips for underwater combat. You must have impressed him somehow.
Well, I think it might be tips to fight from above water to help him while he's fighting underwater. But we'll see what he shows us.
Indeed. Have you got everything that you need? Oh, strips of fabric, thank you. Looks like you have got all the supplies that you need. I think with that we are ready to depart. Are you ready to go? Is there nothing more left that you need to do here?
Bart is just thinking about it now, getting onto the ship, the water beside him, how heavy everything's going to be, the possibility of needing to pluck stranded people out of the ocean. I know this is last minute. Does anyone have any leather armor of any kind? The plate is not going to be suited to a rescue mission. With these wings, I would like to put them to use if possible.
All I've got is some chitinous armor, which I guess maybe better than steel, but probably not super light. But for getting people out of the water, that's what I got this extra rope for. As we, if we sail past them, we hang the rope off the side. If they're conscious enough,
I've also got a net, which might be able to help as well.
I've got a net too. I've got a net. Could I just give me 5 minutes, and I'm just going to try to run into the markets and just try to grab a general studded leather. Is that something that would be?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's nothing special, just something to wear instead of the plate armor.
Yeah,
for now.
That's easy done. I'll just grab a price for you.
I got a net. It's just a lady.
A lady named Annette. Is that what you said?
Yeah. That joke, Oh, classic.
Amazing. Should have known that was coming. Studded leather. Yeah, you're looking at about 45 gold pieces.
Okay, perfect. I've got enough of that. I'll give the entire thing. I'm not going to worry about haggling. These people are fucking running away from an active volcano. And
actually, as you rush into the turtle, he goes,
Are you with the other Owlin?
Oh, yes. That's fine. Sorry, man. Do you have studded leather?
Yes. 40
Perfect.
gold pieces. Your friend's already paid in advance for this. Part of it, anyway.
Oh, perfect. I'm not even going to think about the fact that he's being nice to me and pass him the 40 gold pieces. Very, very kind of you. Please stay safe.
What? You're too fast.
as you just take off. Yeah. Perfect. As you all reconvene back on the boat, there is a possibility that you'll get a chance for a long rest depending on your dice rolls as you take off on the raft. My question is there anything else that you guys are doing before you depart? Okay.
Now.
In that case then, I need to know a couple of things. First off, with the drift globe, how long can you have it active for light? I think it's a fair chunk of time.
It's like 8 hours, I think.
I think it's a long chunk of time.
Yeah.
While within 60 feet, you can have it emanate light under the light or daylight spell. So it's an hour at each time. You can also have it issue a command to hover in front of you. it just follows you and is active until you are out of range. So you could you could just have it active. There's no the new drift globe from the new Dungeon Master's Guide. Actually, the new picture for it is fucking amazing. Let me just drop that in chat for you.
Fantastic. Yeah.
You can issue another command as a magic action. Take the illuminated globe, rise in the air, float no more than 5 feet off the ground, hovers in this way until you or another creature grasps it. If you move more than 60 feet from the hovering globe, it follows you until it is within 60 feet. It takes the shortest route. If prevented from moving, it sinks gently to the ground and becomes inactive. So you could just have it. What you could do is even use the net that Niles has, tie it in the net to the mast, and then just activate this ability, and it'll hover in the net with the boat moving without any problem. You can make basically like a fishing buoy out of this, like a glass buoy that just generates light.
Lovely. Also, just for our party above board, my AC has gone from 20 down to 14. So let's just be careful if we can.
We're always careful.
Looks like Niles is front lining for a bit.
Actually, I have another read. You can use it to cast the light spell, and it'll last for an hour. So you're gonna have to. So every hour, unfortunately, Ember, every hour you're gonna need to restart the light. Annoyingly, and daylight can only be used once. But light, that's still good. That's still good.
Did you say what's your AC?
14 at the moment.
I was.
Okay, you go.
I was just going to say, I'm not sure if we passed it on to Hal when we last saw them, but do we still have that full set of Drow chitinous armor? And is it the same kind of chitin that is slightly more sort of...
Like the boils?
Sort of, water-friendly...
Yeah. So and that was the lobster-like armor you bought from Oxenfurt originally.
Not the lobster. I remember we pulled the set off the... one of the dead drow from the Underdark.
Yeah, not quite. Yeah, so it's not quite the same kind of chitinous armor that's been made from like aquatic creatures. Very very insect-like. It's not actually made from. I mean, it is made from like this kind of preserved chitin, but it's much more like a light armor plate. I don't know if you do still have. If it's still in your inventory, I think you might have given it to House though as part of the. I do vaguely remember that. Yeah. Let me check the bag of holding. You guys can also say, I think you've got the bag of holding too.
All I'm thinking otherwise is the chitinous armor that Lyra currently has, the lobster one. Is that, do we sort of think that's going to be kind of more water friendly? Like,
you know that it's made from an aquatic creature, so possibly.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like.
Wearing lobster hands, give me a swim speed.
It doesn't give you a swim speed. It doesn't give you swim speed, but I will share with you. You know that it floats in water.
Okay, that's good.
All right, I think. All right, but come here, swap with me, and then I'm gonna give him my
just to
my
check,
chitinous.
This is light armor.
It is. Yeah.
Medium.
Oh, is it medium armor? The gloves one. I think you're right. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got the same stats as like a breastplate. Yeah. I remember now.
It's going to be too heavy. Unfortunately, the Aarakocra wings are barely able to keep up the body of obviously a species. It's why we're not able to wear things like that. Why I'm guessing Nyx is going to such lengths. It's the one thing that balances our race across other species. So thank you, but I would tumble straight into the ocean.
All right. Well, let me know if it looks like you're not going to be flying, but
when we get to the volcano, to be honest, with the water nearby, I'll probably switch to that just in the situation where I don't know if I'm going to be punted by a giant into the ocean. God knows what's going to happen there. Niles, you had something to say as well?
Oh, well, no, I was just wondering how we all got on. I know we split up there for a bit. How did you go with those people?
I think I saw Melora.
Did you die?
I'm sorry. Melora?
I did this badass thing where I used the tattoo from Hal, used to sort of help channel my my devotion, I guess, that I've been learning to control these paladin-like powers, and healed through some pretty ingenious planning, if I put so myself. Managed to heal like 50 to 60 of the refugees from some of the villages nearby. One fell swoop. And crack of lightning, large, very large, like I think she was like 7 or 8 feet tall, orc, bigger than a normal one, tattoos, kind of translucent, swampy like
she was
hair.
very elvish, but I like how you've encoded this.
Yeah.
Swampy like hair, and yeah, she kind of said something really ominous but supportive and then disappeared.
I do recall a flash at some point when I was in the town. It was unlike the other lightning. Was that?
I think that was what I was doing. I was flashing them.
Okay. Do you know what she said? You said it was ominous. Is it something we should be worried about, or?
Your good job, something like that.
Oh, good. Oh, excellent.
No.
Can I check that?
Yes. Yes.
I remember now that it was I see you, but I want to keep it as Bart saying good job. Just
Good job. Yeah. What did I get? It's at 22.
Yeah, look, I'm not lying, bro. I just literally forgot. you can probably see the. I guess I'm on like.
He's unsure.
Right
you
now.
can see that Bart's like paraphrasing
yeah.
here. He can't quite remember. He's just giving it his best go. He's so excited in this moment. There's so much that's going on.
Overwhelmed.
He's not really. He's not giving accurate information, but it's not a malicious situation. He just doesn't. He's too excited. Doesn't remember.
I clock the like your holy symbol that you have wrapped around the shield, and I'm like, maybe that had something to do with it as well.
Have you ever seen Melora, Mac?
Yes. Of course I have. She appears when we do the tidal ceremony, when each of the 3 cities comes together.
Okay, is that something hosted by a lady? Was in there tending to everyone, and me and Ember spoke to her.
Yes. We have a number of tide mistresses, 1 or 2 per city. Normally we have one who is senior, one who is training, being taught the ways of the rites. Melora does not like to be worshipped, so we have had to make do with various methods of showing our appreciation and currying her favor.
That was called, just for you, DM, the Tide what? The
Tide Mistress.
Tide Mistress.
No, the event.
The coming of the tides, the tidal ceremony.
Yeah. How do you show these ways to her in case we ever wanted to try to do the same ourselves, gain her favor or get an audience?
Tis hard to win the attention of Melora, normally by surviving, by working in the wilds, or by showing wisdom and doing things for others, helping those who are in trouble, helping those who have been hurt by the natural world, helping them. But it is rare for her to appear outside of a tidal ceremony. Heard of it not happening very often. But sometimes sailors on the waves in the midst of a storm will call out to her and see her reflected in the waves or flashed and illuminated by the lightning. My brother, he was saved from a rogue wave, he says, by Melora. Saw her flash in front of him, grab his hand and guide it down towards the tiller, help guide him through the wave. It does happen.
These are strange times. I heard Sea Stride. I believe that might be one of the floating cities. Is that where you reside?
Yes, it is. It is my home, floating city to the south.
Do you know if that city was affected by the volcano at all?
I do not. But if the Tide Mistress is here, then it cannot be too bad.
Can I assume we're already sailing?
Yes, yeah, I'll assume by this point you guys have taken off. Yeah.
If the Tide Mistress is here, then it cannot have been too bad. I just haven't had a chance to catch up with her yet. But our friend swimming in front, Rilia, he will know. He has come from Sea Stride this evening, this night. He would know more than I do. Rilia, come on board for a moment. Tell us what has happened. What news from Sea Stride?
You watch as Rilia spins, jumps up into the air in this sort of graceful dolphin-like leap, landing on the deck of the ship, water spraying off him all around as he stands there, doing a bit of a superhero landing down on one knee, before rising slowly and stepping forwards.
There was a wave that came from the eruption of the volcano. Earthquakes under the sea. Part of Sea Stride has been somewhat damaged. The outer banks, a couple of the coral spires, but Nothing too serious. We just need to move the city. We'll be sailing south.
There you go. Seems that Sea Strider is not too badly affected.
Yeah, that's good to hear then.
Okay, well, let's keep our eyes peeled. Ember, you've got some spare spyglasses, yes?
I do, and I'll go to give the 3 of them out
Okay.
to the tank.
Did anyone else hear anything at all, Harry? Did you see anything, or was everything okay?
Well, I mean, I brought these guys over, and they're gonna help us to get to the volcano. I think fight the monsters under the water. But other than that,
I'm sorry.
yes.
I thought, Mac, you said that these waters were safe.
Oh,
Normally
they
these
mentioned
waters-
that with the earthquake, that a lot of monsters have been stirred up, so they're a bit angry at the moment. So
I hadn't considered that.
Which is Mac nods, 'cause normally these waters are pretty safe. Very rarely have I encountered things that are dangerous to people on boats or ships. You watch as the Triton, Rilia steps forward, placing a hand on Mac's shoulder.
No, the earthquake from the eruption has awakened many things. We were attacked by a group of sharks.
Attacked by sharks, just swimming.
Yes, they were disturbed. They seemed confused and frightened. We swam over to investigate. It wasn't an attack for malicious purposes. I think they were just scared.
Oh, we better keep an eye out then. Our journey might be more dangerous than I thought if we head south towards the volcano. The closer we get, the more things we will encounter that may have been startled by the underwater ruckus.
And we're heading towards Heatmeave on the way, yes?
Yes, that is the plan. I cannot take the boat much closer to the island that has erupted than Heatmeave. That is probably about as far as we can sail safely, unless you have some way of keeping the boat safe. Or you could maybe swim. Under the water would be safer than over. You watch as he and the Triton really share a moment, their eyes kind of locking as they both sort of nod, but don't say any more about that for the moment.
I might be able to do something about that, actually. I'm not sure how we'd go about staying underwater. We might need some weights, but if I get a bit of a 4 hours of meditation time, I might be able to form an air bubble around us that maybe we can use to breathe if we can, transport under the water somehow like that. But
Really?
I'm just thinking it might be a little bit buoyant. It might just keep pulling us back up again.
That's incredible.
Haven't heard of you. Have you done this power before?
Usually you take away air and poison things.
Yes.
Yeah, I can make useful stuff sometimes.
Oh my.
Sometimes.
Really are full of surprises.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Rare occasions.
When it comes to the sharks, I might also be able to help like that. I mean, if it's any kind of beast, it might take me a little bit to get the spell going, but
Ember can
I might be able to sort of talk.
Yeah, between you and Ember, you should have that. Down pat.
Yeah, I am just thinking. I am going to see if I can need maybe the 4 hours to sort of maybe get a little bit of my magical energy back and some of the wild shapes. Because I can also possibly turn into a sea creature that might also be able to sort of help if it turns into a combat situation.
Well, I figured when we get to Heatmeave, traveling on land will be where obviously the rest of you are suited and helping. Right now on open ocean, it'll be the water companions of ours, the Tritons, and probably me and Niles. So I'm happy, I'll look at Niles and give him a nod, to do the first shift. We can both head up into the skies and try to look for any people holding on to, I don't know, bits of leftover planks of wood. Any people that have... Look, I know that there hasn't been any broken ships, at least from what you've said, but it wouldn't surprise me if people jumped into the ocean and just took whatever they could for buoyancy to escape the heat. Even that makes sense. So yeah, I'm happy to take first. Niles, are you okay with that?
Of course. I don't have a lot of experience fighting sea creatures, but I'm sure I can try.
Sure. Punch them enough, it'll be fine. It's usually there.
Drug.
Would you do a different tactic if you did come across a sea creature? Because everything so far that seems to be bread and butter.
I mean, normally I would just swoop down and pluck an aquatic creature with my feet, with my claws, and that's usually pretty effective. I suppose I could just adapt that same methodology. Perhaps a strike with my kick could help, maybe?
Pull a shark out of the water? That would be great.
Might be a little difficult with the angle of my body to punch. It's probably more of a kicking action, I would
This
say.
image of Niles swooping down, grabbing onto the shark, and then immediately being pulled under the water because the shark weighs like 400 kilos and Niles weighs like maybe 40. You just go like, I got straight down into the water. Yeah.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll grab 2 of the spyglasses, pass 1 to Niles. Keep on myself out of the 3 or 4 that you had, Ember?
3. Yeah, 3. So I have 2 short range and 1 long.
And that way we can at least have those in the air. Niles, stick close. Obviously, I've got that protective aura from my own key. We'll pair up and just dart around the ship.
Of course.
So, we've got Niles and Bart taking first watch, kind of keeping a bit of an eye out, looking across the waves for signs of people in trouble, as well as anything below the waves that might be trouble for you. Lyra, Ember, Harry. Ember, you're kind of restricted to like hour naps and then activating the drift globe. Actually, hang on. Does the drift globe need to be attuned to? Because if it doesn't, anyone could do this. Anyone who's awake. Let me just double check. I don't think it is an attunement item, the drift globe, is it?
While you're checking that as well, rather than on the deck, I'm wanting me and Niles to be sort of like seagulls with a pirate ship, staying around maybe like 60 to 100 feet within the vessel and just circling it, looking for
like
anyone
kind of
in
the perimeter of whatever the radius of the drift globe light is, probably.
Ember, you don't need to be awake. All you have to do is teach each person the command word, and they can make the drift globe. So yes, anyone who wants to. So anyone who's on watch can also be in command of the drift globe. So you guys can sleep easily, and that's the same for the light and the daylight spell. It's basically just 2 command words. What would you like those command words to be? Do you want them to be like TM names from Pokemon, like Flash is light and then Solar Beam is daylight? Because you could do that. Obviously, we've got the Pokemon theme running.
More than happy to do that, because I don't think we actually named them earlier on when we did it in the Underdark. So yeah, happy to go with that.
Let's just give it then like the Firbolg name for Flash and daylight. It's just a Firbolg word.
Or would it be like Sunny Day? Because that's the TM, right?
Perfect. Yes, Flash and Sunny Day. Way better. Yeah. Flash and Sunny Day.
What was Harry's command word again? Or
That's it. For the wand of detect.
So sick that you
I regret everything about giving Dave control over picking his magic words.
That's so funny.
It's so funny.
Into my head.
It's also not a command word. That's a command fucking sentence at that point. It's incredible. Awesome. Okay, so Bart and Niles are taking first watch, kind of flying around the ship. Harry, Lyra, Ember, are you guys going to use this opportunity to take at least the first part of a short rest, then switch with the two flying folk?
Well, Harry's been resting in general. Like he was like hanging out in a tree.
Yeah, you've had a bit of a short rest.
Even on the airship on the way here, he was resting.
Yeah.
So I think the plan was for long rests, using like 6-ish hours, because we knew that it was going to be a long trip, right?
You know it's going to be about 8-9 hours, possibly. So you're going basically through the night to arrive at Heatmeave by dawn. As long as the wind blows in favor, we'll get to that in a second. And as long as you don't encounter too many problematic things on the ocean, again, we'll get to that with a D100 roll in a minute. You're looking at a bit of a journey ahead of you. But there is an opportunity for a long rest over the evening. So you've taken a couple of short rests, Harry. I'd say that you're not going to be accruing any exhaustion. You've had enough of downtime, and you'll have enough more on the boat. So you don't need to necessarily take a long rest if you don't want to. If you wanted to borrow Ember's long-range spyglass and even just take some downtime, keeping an eye out through that, while even after Bart and Niles have had to come back in to land and have a sleep, that's not a problem. You could definitely do that.
I think that sounds like a great idea. And does Devil's Sight work through a spyglass? It would, right? No, but spyglass, Devil's Sight has like a
radius.
A radius, right?
But the question is, and this is where we're getting into optics. We're getting into optics here, which thank Christ I can comment on with some level of confidence. your normal range of vision is about 6 meters. After that point, you don't get any extra clarity. When you look through a telescope or a spyglass, that range of vision is extended. You sacrifice the short range vision. You move your focal point out to a point in the distance, and it gives you that vision from that point. But you lose your close-up vision in response. So you're basically moving your focal point further out. I would argue, based on that and based on how physics works, Devil's Sight is going to be the same. So
Okay.
you're
DM. I'm happy with that ruling. That works in my favor. So that's what Harry will do.
Let me
Makes sense.
consult with my other clinical optometrist friend Simon. What do you reckon? That makes the most sense to me from an optics perspective.
Yeah, no, that does. It does. Probably the way it really works.
That's how it works in optics. I mean, I could hand wave and just say magic. It doesn't work that way, but I hate doing
Even
that.
from a magical perspective, it does make some sort of logical sense because it's
it's
not
only-
only coming from his body; it's coming from his sight.
I fully agree. But rules as written say you can see normally in dim light and darkness, both magical and non-magical, within 120 feet of yourself. But like,
Yeah.
I'm happy to.
But so what you're doing is when you look through the spyglass, what you're focusing on becomes that focal point as you move it out.
I agree.
So if it was, so I would change this though if it's something like True Sight, I would say is different because that is directly magical, right? The Devil's Sight kind of seems to me more like a specific kind of like iris
Like
structure
cat's
that's
eye,
letting you see. Yeah, you're kind of using a bit of a cat's eye kind of setup. There's some magic going on, but it's not quite the same thing. Whereas something like True Sight, Tremor Sense, Blind Sight, that's a bit different. I think that is centered from you because you're not using your eyes for those things. It's much more of like a magical sense.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
Yes,
Because you have Devil's Sight, does it have a physical change to your body when you use it?
that's up to Harry. Yeah, good question. Do
Yeah.
your pupils
Or-
become
or is
like
it just
slit
actively
pupils?
Yeah. I just want to know if there's like a physicality to it.
I reckon he blinks and like his eyes are normal. And one time after he blinks, they're like they open up and they're like cat eyes.
That's super cool.
It's pretty cool.
Or is it pigments, like a little mechanical treasure planet style?
Like a scouter from Dragon Ball Z.
That's sick.
Just flicks out.
As your warlock patron like creates a little like scouter, you're like, what's their power level? Looking through a little scouter.
Whoa.
I like the scouter idea. That's really funny.
Yeah, but it's like a projection. It like kind of like
Yeah,
splits
yeah.
in front of you, and it's
Yeah,
like
little-
just kind of floating there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sick.
Google Glass. What can you see?
Oh,
Does that make Harry a glass full?
Make it really dumb.
I thought it looked very cool with Harry. I was imagining like Matrix eyes.
Ooh, yeah.
I like.
the treasure planet cyborg, just like the lenses that.
Oh,
like
that's
the-
pretty sick.
That's also cool.
I do like
Hey,
the
so
blue
it's
Harry, I
Harry.
guess.
I'm borrowing the spyglass, but
Okay.
for flavor, it's the scouter like layers like a watchmaker pops out.
Yeah.
And next time I'm in town, I'm gonna buy a spyglass and flavor it that way permanently.
Amazing.
Hell yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
excellent.
So Harry, he also sees normally, so it's not like it's even like just dim. It's like just a normal day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Harry will do that.
Beautiful. So this means, Harry, when you're looking through the spyglass, you can't see up close and around you because you're moving your focal length away from you. So anything that's like within the range, like closer than the range of the spyglass, is going to be blurry and out of focus, and you won't be able to see clearly. Yes, my friend.
A spyglass is one eye.
Yes.
So what
Hey,
happens if Harry just switches eyes?
You have a lot of confusion because your brain's trying to overlap two images of very
Yep.
different sizes, shapes, and locations. It's actually really
It's-
hard to see if you
It's
do.
not
that.
even overlapping. It's like two
No.
different directions.
If you've, yeah, true, because of the way your eyes work. Yeah, that's a good question. Does Harry have stereopsis? Does he have 3D vision? Probably not, because rabbits don't. Rabbits don't have 3D vision.
Yeah,
They've
just
got
a-
like I think panoramic vision, I think is what it's called. Like the way that it kind of links
Yeah.
together.
They're widescreen.
Kind of, yeah. You're
Yeah.
sacrificing like depth of vision for field of vision. Yeah, good question. I would say that it's very confusing for your brain and actually very uncomfortable. You have to then pick because that's kind of how it works in real life.
Harry vomits, and then he puts it back on. And
Carrots. I'm like, why is it always carrots? Oh, he's a Harrengon. That does kind of make sense that it would be carrots this time.
He opens up his second eye and instantly vomits, and then like,
Yeah.
goes up.
Didn't he literally look for someone, Mudriga?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure last session you looked for some carrots at the you
Yeah,
wanted
did.
yeah,
the
100%,
markets.
100%.
He did.
And we instead talked about orange-colored fish.
That's right. We did mention that as a fun little aside. Awesome. Okay, so Harry's going to keep an eye out. Brilliant.
His
Harry,
ears are also periscoping to listen for any cries for help.
sweet. In that case, then Harry, Bart, and Niles, could I please get perception or investigation checks from each of you? Those of you using the spyglasses have advantage on this. Lyra and Ember. Lyra, I know you need a bit of a snooze, so you're taking a bit of a rest. Ember, how are you doing?
Look, health-wise I'm doing okay, but I do need to recover some of those spell slots, so I'd be taking as much of a break as I can, just taking it nice and easy.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, once I get 4 hours down, I'm happy to I can stay awake until, well, tomorrow, whenever we next get a chance for a long rest. But
okay, easy done. If the two of you want to mark this as a long rest, I won't get you to do it just yet. What I will do though, because you two didn't get to roll perception checks, could I please get D100 checks from both of you? The perception checks, that clearly hasn't worked properly, Christian, because I can see that you rolled a 0 for your perception check. It's just nulled it, which is hilarious.
It
18 plus 1 is
side.
19. I can see you rolled an 18 as one of the checks, so that's fine.
Oh, it's
88.
-1. My perception.
Oh, -1, sorry. Okay, yeah, so in that
The
case, then it'll
glasses
be
was
17.
needed. 17, yeah.
17. For Harry, we've got a 24. For Niles, we've got a 23. Nice. 88 for Ember, 45 for Lyra. Okay, perfect. Thank you both for that.
That's good.
Let's have a
Roughly.
look here. 88. Okay.
Of course we roll fucking high when it's generating a combat encounter rather than talking to the gods.
Don't be too quick to speak. 88 is interesting. Here's what happens. And this is for Harry, Bart, and Niles. All three of you notice this. As soon as the boat takes off and begins skimming across the waves, the wind at this point is blowing from the south against the direction you're going. But as the boat begins to leave the kind of atoll that is at the edge of this island and go out beyond the breakers, just cutting through the waves quite quickly, as soon as it gets beyond them, you feel the wind begin to shift and change, and you watch as above you, clouds begin to gather and move very, very quickly, forming a cloud bank behind you towards the north. And before too long, the wind begins to shift, the waves picking up a little bit, but the wind now blowing from the north, propelling you across the waves towards the south. You watch as Mac looks over towards his husband, Setu. Setu is currently seated at the front of the boat, offering a little prayer. You can see he's sort of like making a little prayer to Meloran, dipping his fingers to his lips, putting them in the water, then putting the salt water back to his lips and tasting it. As he does so, that wind picks up again, and you watch as the boat begins to speed over the surface of the waves. Mac, immediately, the biggest smile on his face, turns towards a lot of you and goes, "You've done something right. Meloran is with us this day. We travel fast with the wind." Which is Setu nods, the two of them giving a nod to each other. 88's a good roll. That was very, very good, Ember. As the storm shifts and changes, moving the boat quickly across the waves. Lyra for a 45. Flying overhead, Bart and Niles, as you stick towards the sort of immediate vicinity of the boat, you're actually having to fly quite quickly to keep up. With the wind in the sails and moving the boat forwards, it's taking effort to keep in line with it. And your plan to kind of stay out in this moment and follow along doing an orbit of the ship, you realize this is going to become quite exhausting quite quickly with the speed that the boat is moving. Could I please get a Constitution saving throw from each of you as you're trying to fly to keep up with this while still moving in tandem with the boat?
The reason I wanted to go in pairs, you're in my aura, so take a +4, Matt.
Oh, beautiful.
For a con save. Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely using my inspiration for that.
That's a natural one! Spam those natural. That's our first crit of the night. Fail or success.
Oh yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Okay, look, a low roll, but I'm much happy with that. A 14.
14's all right, and 15
Plus
from
four,
Niles.
+4.
+4. Yes, so that takes you up to a 19. Do you get the +4 from your aura as well, Christian? I think you do, don't you? For both?
Mine's already calculated.
Already calculated. Yeah, +6. Okay, so 14 for you. Yeah, 19 for Niles. This makes sense though, but you've had your wings for exactly like 6 hours at this point. You've only just got them back from the flesh sculptor, having like grafted these wings back onto you, regrown and grafted your wings after months having had your wings removed. You're still getting those flight muscles back, and while all the muscles have been connected and clearly the flesh sculptor's done a great job, you're just not used to flying. Your body has kind of bulked up musculature-wise. It's actually a lot of effort to keep that momentum and keep that strength flying when you are bigger and much more bulkier than you were when you last had your wings. Before too long, you find exhaustion beginning to set in, and you know that you're either going to have to land on the boat or push yourself further to be able to carry on flying. My question is, what do you choose to do?
Sorry, I get the option of
Try and push through,
flying?
or land on the boat.
Look, other people at the moment are more important than getting a bit tired, or maybe even if I do fall into the water, it's going to be embarrassing, but I've got friends here to pick me up. I'm just going to try to push through the wind.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for anyone in danger.
As we get to the hour and a half, 2 hour mark traveling, you are going to mark a point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Niles, you're fine. You've done long haul flights before. With the wind in your feathers, you know that the trick isn't to try and fly at all, really. What you want to do is angle yourself and glide, using this kind of like zigzagging pattern of the wind taking you as you travel with it, really reducing your energy. And while you try and help Bart with this, giving him a few pointers, he's just not used to it. It's been so long since he's flown. And also, like, you would never have done long haul flights, Bart. Not as like a pampered son of the Zishi from Eris. Like, you've never had to. This is pleb stuff. But no, as you travel with the wind, you have no troubles at all keeping up with the boat. As we get to the 2 hour mark, you're fine, having no issues at all. On the deck of the ship, Harry, after about an hour and a half, all three of you spot a disturbance in the water up ahead. You can see seabirds flying around in this spiral arc above a patch of disturbed water. The waves behind you, much larger with the storm and the wind pushing them, but in front you can see there's a patch of what looks like flatter ocean. And yeah, strange splashing on the surface, shapes moving amongst the volatile water, amongst the churning water. And as you get a little bit closer, you watch as an enormous shape jumps up into the air. Massive grey slick form, easily 20, 30 feet long, as it rises up from the waves and clamps around a number of the seabirds flying above the surface of the water before slamming down with a massive splash, spray shooting up into the air. The creature has this almost, grey, scaly-like skin. You can see water splashing off, giving it this kind of iridescent surface as the scales catch the light, shining from your drift globe, giving it this sort of, strange, like incandescent surface as the boat speeds towards it. A moment later, you watch as the Triton, Rylia, who's been swimming ahead, immediately gets on the boat, calling out towards the two Meloran Orcs in a language I don't think any of you speak, unfortunately, as he calls out in Orcish. Let me know if any of you speak Orcish. I don't think you do, though, from memory.
No.
Okay. As he calls out in Orcish towards the two of them, you watch as Mac grabs hold of the tiller at the back and spins it round, trying to move out of the way, as a second dark shape moves underneath the boat. That is where we're going to leave off for tonight.
Whoa.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It has been lovely having you all here once again. For those of you joining us live, massive thank you. Don't go anywhere. We are going to go and raid a lovely friend of the channel while I pull that open. Those of you listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube, again, thank you so much. Remember, if you want to help us out, you can hit the like button, which will despawn 1 big fish. If you leave a comment, that'll despawn 2 big fish. And if you subscribe, that'll despawn at least 3 big fish that would attack the party on site. So, I mean, really, you've got to help them out. And if anything bad happens next session and you didn't subscribe, you're going to be sitting there feeling like a fool. We will be back next week for more Curse of Strahd on Monday, Avatar Legends on Tuesday, and Return of the Giants on Wednesday. In terms of the Baldur's Gate 3 streams, probably Tuesday and Wednesday at this point. I'm not quite sure what Monday's got in store. But from all of us here, I want to wish everyone a really lovely Easter break. Whether or not you celebrate Easter for the holiday that it is, or just the fact that it's a fucking holiday that all of us need right now. And I know that all of us need that holiday. I really hope you have a wonderful Easter. If you're watching this recorded, then I hope you've had a wonderful holiday. I really, really hope you've had a great time. We will be, seeing you all soon. At this stage, I think we are going to go ahead with the Curse of Strahd stream on Monday. It looks like most people are free. We're not going to let Easter stop us. I think I'll probably have to play Blood. Matt, I think you're taking a bit, because you're heading off with Fam. So
yeah,
I'll play Blood for Monday. Well, worst case scenario, we'll do some fucking Baldur's Gate 3 on Monday night. Not a problem.
There you go.
But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted with all of that. But yeah, that's all from us tonight. Have a wonderful time. We will see you all again very, very soon. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and see you guys all again next time. Goodbye. See ya.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.